his head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Lazzy. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feed.
Gets the ace. Available, just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Welcome, Saints Nation, to the Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel. Of course, your home for the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team. And tonight, as a part of our rather busy Tuesday, we do have ourselves a NACE Counter-Strike match to get things started. Of course, my name is Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danner, is joining me for the first time in regards to Counter-Strike. Shadi Hanna, welcome to the casting desk once again.
Hello, and thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited for my first ever CSGO cast, and especially here with the Saints Gaming channel. I've heard a lot of really good things about this team, a lot of really good things about this game, so I'm really excited to see how everything plays out tonight.
Well, you're going to learn today, because it's going to be definitely an interesting, exciting, and fun matchup, as of course our St. Clair College squad is going up against Shenandoah University Hornets, the A squad. This is, of course, their top team, Shenandoah Esports. They are currently here in NACE with a 3-0 record, as the last couple weeks had happened. And then our Saint squad currently sitting at a 2-1, so a solid start nonetheless. But of course, going up against Shenandoah for this next matchup, going to be a tough one. Looking forward to seeing how the squad could handle it.
Yeah, it's always good to have tough competition in your leagues. You know, always pushes you to kind of excel and play to your best. So good stuff for tonight.
Absolutely. And then already a little bit of news before we do get started. One of the reasons why it did kind of take us so long to get into the match itself here tonight is because Bobby Sweat, unfortunately, one of the members on our main roster, did have an internet outage as soon as it was about time to get ready into the game. And it has not came back yet. So we're going to quickly actually hop on over to our roster panel. You may have seen during the break, of course, Bobby was one of the starters. So that means that Spencer Rodriguez, that's going to be Stefano, coming in clutch with the fact that, of course, being the sub on the squad. And, of course, he's going to be up with Tyler Steenbergen, or Tyler's, Maz Hawk? But we'll just call him Maz. Then we have, of course, Chance Morrow, of course, formal or chance in game. No, he is actually going to be formal in the game this time so no name or tag change this time. And then Cam Lins, that is going to be Abyss to round up our St. Clair Saints. Then I'm taking a look already on the side here. So the opponents for tonight from Shenandoah, we have Red, we have CDM, Freak, VertiLD, and DLA for Shenandoah. So definitely a bunch of threats on that squad. Looking forward to seeing how this match ends up going down. But that's got to be frustrating. You had a game plan going into the match tonight up against the top team in your group, and already one of your players kind of DCs, and you already have to throw the playbook out the window.
Yeah, a little bit. St. Clair is definitely going to be playing on the back foot. You know, putting in a sub for a game as kind of important as this one is going to be. That being said, you know, I have a lot of faith in this roster. I've seen a lot of these guys perform in other games. Earlier in the year, we had a Valorant tournament, and a number of these names I recognized from that event showed up and really kicked some butt in that. And there's just, you know, there's so many parallels with FPS titles. If you're able to do well in one, typically you're able to transfer a lot of that skill into another, especially with things as fundamental as aim and positioning and team fighting. So, you know, it's just good to see a team that's so well-rounded and well-practiced coming into this game.
And they've definitely had their moments of being kind of like hit or miss, so to speak, and not necessarily this season. And NACE, they've been doing good so far. They've been 2-1, of course, so of course a solid start. But of course, we also get to see them on Sundays during Basics League, and that has very much so been kind of hit or miss. I think we're hovering around the mid-pack in that league. I can't remember the results off the top of my head, but you've been seeing a little bit more suffering for the Saints in that league specifically. But got to see what kind of Saints do we have coming up here today. Do we see the Saints where Formal and Maz just take their newfound leadership roles and just tear through the opponents? Or do we see kind of like the passive, like unconfident versions of themselves that kind of sit back and just hold angles, but yet they still get jumped on and it gets a little bit messy? Do we see some of the rookies come on out here? Of course, Stefano Tylers and well, not Abyss. Abyss is technically a veteran as well. Was on the squad last semester. But do we see one of them kind of step up and go absolutely crazy? It has happened before. And then just getting the confirmation now for our match. So the map for tonight is going to be on Mirage. So a very common competitive map. We see this pretty frequently and across pretty much all leagues, pro play and whatnot. No real niche maps coming out for this time by. And players are just about to get ready here. So of course, big thank you for everybody for sticking with us here. I know it took us a little bit to get underway. But we're just finally finishing up the knife round so that the players can decide which side they want to get started on. It's going to be Shenandoah's choice, it looks like, as they did win the knife round. And we will be getting underway momentarily. It looks like the Saints are going to start on the T side of things, with Shenandoah on the CT side of things. So without further ado then, let's hop into the matchup between Shenandoah and St. Clair Saints. Going to be starting off slow here with this initial pistol round. See, where do players opt to go? Majority of the Saints actually taking the north side of things. It's going to be Verdi LD who's going to be the one spotting things out. Formal takes the worst of that, but it's going to be actually Abyss going down. Shots from the apartments here for Stefano. Of course, coming in hot right after being subbed in, finds himself a double. A 3-on-3 now. Kwazam, it's going to be Maz jumping on in. He find himself another. He's going to be able to do so. Can they get this thing planted, however? Not going to be the case. Tyler's and Stefano, the 1v2, but either of them get touched or going down.
Ooh, nice shot there from Stefano. Really good round to start things off. Right at the end there, that 2v1 scenario, both Stefano and Tyler's were on less than 20 HP, if I saw that correctly.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really dangerous position to be in. A lot of like really head-to-head, close-up gunfights in that pistol round. Really high action-packed start to this match here. Round 1 going to St. Clair.
Now, of course, usually like we'll hear from what Deprive says constantly. You win round 1, you oftentimes win round 2, but I like the counter coming out here from like CDM and Verdi. They did get a couple kills in that last round, so rather than stick to the pistols, they're bringing out these submachine guns and are actually being rather effective with this. Stefano, the only one alive here from the Saints. Everybody on the Saints bought SMGs, and they are not going to be able to take care of this one. Solid play here from Shenandoah to turn that one around after what is usually a rather free win. After you win round number 1, they're going to tie it up right away instantly, and Saints look like they're going to be forced to stick to the pistols this time by.
So, Dan, explain to me here a little bit. What are we looking at here when the team wins round 1 and then loses round 2? How does that affect them in the long run?
Because normally it's just the snowball effect, basically, because you win round 1 and you have obviously much more money in the pocket, as we do then see trading kills here right now, but it's going to be in the favor of Shenandoah. But basically, the back and forth is much easier. Oh, big one tap coming out here from Kwazam, though. Nice shot. But it's a little bit hard to deal with once you do go down early on, because normally what you'll see is people just go and take their pistols, as we do see Shenandoah take themselves another round after finishing off the Saints' attack, rather. But yeah, so gonna recollect my thoughts for the second here, but yeah.
No, I feel really bad. I put you on the spot, and then that round was just absolutely crazy.
No, they went very fast, to be honest. That is A-okay.
Really good performance there from Shenandoah. They had perfect eyes on St. Clair. They knew where they were 10 seconds before St. Clair knew where they were going. Just a clean, I believe, 5-1 round there on round 3 for Shenandoah. A really clean job from this team.
But normally what you'll end up seeing is we see the nice shot here again from Freak. Stefano going to go down. And another one with the pistol. Going to whip that one out, take care of him there. Freak is absolutely on a tear. We do have Abyss behind the barrels. Is he going to get spotted out? Maybe not just yet. You see DLA. Does kind of see his elbow. Going to take him down. Solid shot there with that assault rifle. Ma's not going to be long for this world. Tyler, the only one left alive here on this Saints squad. It has to go up against 4, including 1 with the sniper rifle. That is definitely going to be a difficult task. DLA just going to dive on in and take care of Tyler's.
That was a really intelligent use of the Molotov from Shenandoah to push Abyss off of the barrels and then clean them up on the retreat. Just really good use of your gadgets in that round, just as a zoning tool. You got a little bit of poke damage off, and you kind of put some fear into the enemy, make them run around and scurry a little bit so you can shoot them while they're fleeing. Getting out of there, getting out of dodge. So really good use of the gadgets. It's a good way to kind of keep that momentum going as you hit closer and closer to halftime.
Yeah, since we do have a pause here, maybe I'll finally finish that thought that I was thinking about in regards to how the early rounds can definitely snowball things. Because normally, you lose that first round, oftentimes you're kind of stuck, like sticking to pistols. Then the people who won that one have all SMGs, so if you end up getting to a gunfight, normally you lose those. But what Shenandoah did, since they had so many kills in that loss still, the members that did get the kills bought SMGs anyway, and were able to go head-to-head here with St. Clair. So instead of the Saints being able to kind of snowball their lead, if anything, it got completely flipped around, shut down, Shenandoah with a solid win. So now, of course, taking a look at their weapon area, their arsenal right here, right now, this is kind of like what you'd like to see for essentially what you would call a full buy. As we can see, AK-47s pretty much across the board, if not the op or the another assault rifle. And Saints, as we can see here, they're going up against all that heavy artillery with pistols. This is not where you want to be because you have a hard time getting anything done. As the timeout does go down, and Maz going to find himself taken down. It's going to be another shot here for Freak, and he's just going to deagle him down. Oh, dear. Solid play coming out here from Shenandoah.
Freak's been top frag, like this entire game, and these like early snipes in these last couple rounds, ever since he's picked up that sniper, have just been absolutely insane. As soon as St. Clair starts peeking around that corner, it's like one headshot, two headshots, and they're just trickled as soon as the round gets going here.
He's put himself in such a good position that he can't get touched. It is going to be St. Clair who are going to end up buying up all the way to AK. So after using that save round with the pistol to try and get themselves at least a little bit of heavy artillery this time by, everybody rocking an assault rifle. Going to try and move forward. So far trading 1 for 1, but anytime you have Birdie or Freak still alive, I'm definitely scared. That being said though, Formal going to take care of Birdie. They're going to try and get the jump on the Freak. Can they kill the Opper? Definitely going to try, but gets a little bit of damage on. That is an unfortunate molly. Did not quite bounce the way I think he was hoping. So goes the direction that he was not in. But at least they're going to be putting some pressure on the Freak moving in here. And oh, CDM, he waits for Quizam to come on out here. Try and draw more players out. We see him get another. Tyler's is at least going to trade it back. So 2-on-2 to finish this one off.
I really like the way that St. Clair kind of collapsed onto Freak. Unfortunately, a couple shots went wide right into the bottom edge of the wall. Wasn't quite able to connect with the headshot, so Freak did survive a little bit longer than they would have hoped. And now we're in a 2v1 situation. It's just going to be Red versus Tyler and Stefano. We can see up in the top left there, Red trying to make his way around, get some chase down in there. A little bit of a gunfight here now with Stefano. A little bit of damage traded down. No one's going to drop just yet, though. A lot of game left to play in this round here. I have to see how Red can carry his own. And there goes the kill now onto Stefano. It's the 1v1 situation. It's Tyler's and Red with the 1v2 clutch. Shenandoah now 5-1 in this game.
By Red moving forward like that and making sure that he took down the one player prior to the other one coming around, it just became a trickle for the side of St. Clair. So much easier to win those 1v2s when they're not both going at you at the exact same time. And Saints just don't seem like they're on the same page right now, even to the point where they, two of the members on the side of St. Clair for this round, they bought AKs, and then the rest of the team saved. It's a bit of a split here, and this isn't going to do anybody any good unless Formal can absolutely tear a hole through this, because Tyler's, he is going to go down rather quickly here, and he was the only other one who bought, so this is going to be brutal for the economy here of the St. Clair squad. Going to be forced probably onto pistols again unless somebody buys for them, but even then, don't think it'll be as well as they were hoping for. Freak, once again, going to find Formal. That's going to be the last AK down. And there goes Stefano to finish off the round. Shenandoah on a tear after only dropping that first initial round.
Freak is just single-handedly wrecking havoc through the Saints lineup. The sniper is providing so much pressure. Even if he's only getting himself 1 or 2 kills in a round, he is providing just this incredible threat on the map that St. Clair has to completely change their approach just because he is where he is. He's such a strong zoning tool in these rounds. And St. Clair really needs to start coming up with a strategy to respond to this. Already a nice little gunfight at the beginning, and Formal, the first to drop here in this round. That's going to be DLA picking up that kill. And yet another one for DLA. Now 2 kills already in the start of this round, looking for a third. Abyss now hiding behind that smoke, gonna survive for a little while longer, but there he goes, drops now to Freak. That's the 3rd kill for Shenandoah in this round. Freak taking quite a bit of counter damage here, barely hanging on with about 10 HP left. Is gonna find his way out of there now, and it's a 5v2 situation for Shenandoah when they already have this much tempo.
Yeah, the pressure is absolutely being slaughtered here. Tyler's just going to find himself on the board to at least take one down. However, he's going to be not very long for this world. It is just his pistol versus the assault rifle of Hornet DLA. DLA with his third of the round. And that is going to be yet another one here on the board for Shenandoah University as they continue to just basically get first blood and then just snowball every single round. And it's really brutal to see. You keep mentioning Freak because he is absolutely just tearing apart. And even if he is only getting, like, say, one kill during a round, it's oftentimes that first kill to now put it into a 4v5, throw off the strategy. But I do like this molly coming out here from the Saints, but it's not going to matter. We do see two going down right away. Quaz, Abyss going down. Formal's going to drop as well, but he's going to at least take Freak down with them. So the op is down unless one of the members of the Hornets want to run and pick that up. Otherwise, it could be trouble.
Shenandoah is just doing such an incredible job of counter-killing in these rounds. There goes Tyler's picking up another kill for Sinclair. It's going to even out the scoreboard a little bit. A third kill now going Sinclair's, where Tyler's hanging onto his life by a thread. One more knock's going to do it. It's a 1v2 situation. We've seen it happen before, but the nice little shot from Verdi around the wall is just going to clean up that round. I was actually a little worried for Shenandoah there with the way Tyler's performed there, picking up, I believe, 3 kills to his name in that round, basically single-handedly. But it's really hard to hold yourself against this team. Shenandoah is doing such an incredible job of just securing these counter kills. If one member drops, 2 more get responded to on the side of St. Clair, and it's just impossible to pull a lead against these guys.
Absolutely. Now we do see Freak back at home, basically, in that little section of the middle lane, but some good smoke's going to at least obscure himself. And the one big thing that came out from that Shenandoah defense, sure, Freak went down, but somebody went there. They picked up his op right away. He did not have to buy that expensive sniper rifle again. And then next round happens, that's fine. I'll just throw you the op again, and then you can keep doing exactly what you're doing. As we see Abyss, he finally got his first kill, I think, of this entire game, but it does go down pretty well right away. Saints with the player advantage going towards that A site, but they don't have the bomb on hand. Still trying to decide what they want to do. Tyler's might not be long for this world. However, CDM just not quite finding the spray pattern right. Not going to hit too much. Tyler's only down to about 60 health, so hangs on for at least a little while longer.
Oof. That was a really good shot there from Freak. You can see the nice little headshot onto Kazam over the barrels. And another little gunfight here inside the smoke cloud is going to find his way out of there in a nice little retreat. But Formal actually picking up another kill. It's going to be a 1v1 situation here. Red versus Formal. Now, we've seen Red pull this off before. Can Formal get the 1v1 clutch here in this matchup? Taking a look here at the minimap in the top left, they've kind of split the map a little bit. It's going to take a while for them to chase each other down, get each other locked into a zone. They're going to probably meet up on B point, it looks like, as we can see Formal making his way around the map, running as fast as he can, trying to lock down his target. But it's going to be really tricky here to figure out how they pull this 1v1 off.
Yeah, so of course, the rough spot there for the Saints be on offense is they had to make sure that bomb gets planted. However, now it's going to be up to Red to make his way on over and try to not only get the kill, but get the kill fast enough so that he can defuse this bomb. And of course, like you said before, Red, he was successful in that 1v2 last time. It called for it. However, the members of the Saints were rather injured at the time. Going to be using the flashbang to try and move in, but Formal not going to fall for it. And it is going to be looking for the defuse here. Is he going to find it? He's going to have to try and stick it. Formal going to deny that and stops the bleeding here for St. Clair, finally getting themselves another round on the board.
Really well executed from St. Clair. At first I thought Formal was getting a little bit frisky, running around the map, looking like he was going to go for that 1v1 chase, but obviously having the attacker's advantage in that situation, in that 1v1, when you can get the defuse set up, it's really hard for the enemy to kind of lock you down. If you can get that plant, then it's up to them really to chase you down, and you've kind of put yourself onto a defender's advantage from the offensive swing. So really kind of good choice and good discipline there, not greeting for that kill and setting himself up. A little bit of counterfire here right off to start off this round. Kazam getting a nice little shot onto DLA. Now DLA getting finished off, but it looks like DLA is actually going to find the kill onto Tyler. My bad. It looked like he was about to go down, but actually hanging on with just a little bit of life there. You can see about 25 HP. Now got the eyes on Freak. Freak taking out a shot, but isn't going to find anybody, retreating back into the smoke before anything comes his way.
Gosh, that's always the stressful point of the commentary side of things. We see the outlines. We know you have your crosshair right on a guy through the smoke. But of course, the players will not know that, as we do see the rest of the Saints actually starting to tear through some of the members of Shenandoah. Just a matter of dealing with Verdi D, who's sitting there with this submachine gun. So Verdi up against 3. Saints, of course, going to have to go run back for this bomb. They don't like to take it too far, put it in a compromising position in case somebody goes down. So it does mean they have to run back and get ready to plant this thing, but they do have 35 seconds left to go. And should be able to do this just fine, because as soon as Verdi shows himself, if all Saints are ready, somebody should be able to collapse on him.
This is a moment where you have a huge power play for St. Clair. You have this huge numbers advantage. You can have 2 people kind of scoping out your entry points as your third sets up a plan. You can already see right there, actually, Stefano basically taking that round into his own hands, getting the plant and the cleanup kill to secure that round. Now starting to tie up the score a little bit more. St. Clair getting a couple rounds to their name. It was 8-1 previously, now 8-3. So 2 rounds in a row going St. Clair's way. Hopefully this momentum can get them back into this game a little bit. We can see now everybody's finally fully slotted. No longer pistol game for St. Clair. And actually, it looks like Shenandoah is going to be taking the pistol hit on this round. Already right off the start of this round here, Abyss trading kills, but there it goes. 2 for 2 now at the start of this gunfight. Now Formal is going to drop. It's now a 2v2 situation. What a crazy start to this round. And there, oh my gosh, Stefano's trying to step up onto the point, getting picked off by CDM with the sniper rifle. An excellent shot there from CDM. And now a 2v1 situation onto Tyler's. He is going to manage to find the plant onto A site. How is he going to get himself into this? Find himself a good defensive spot here, though. This is looking really tricky. 1v2 on this site. How does he pull this off, Danners?
I mean, got to find himself a good corridor. We do see both the side of players on Shenandoah, rather, with AKs ready to fight. Where is Tyler's hiding behind the box? As soon as somebody goes there, he's going to get exposed, and sure enough, it's going to be the one, but he goes down right away. This was a pistol round that absolutely just shredded the Saints. They had all sorts of artillery. Every single kill coming out here from Shenandoah was absolute value, and they also get to keep one of the AK-47s as well for themselves. So massive, massive profits here for Shenandoah University after making that pistol round go in their favor.
It's so good to see a team like as well orchestrated as Shenandoah that even from a very clear disadvantage, like with just raw artillery available to them, still being able to win out on gunfights. It just shows such an incredible level of expertise and how well practiced they are with their aim, with their spray patterns, with their ability and confidence to take these gunfights. We can already see at the start of the round, Freak leading the charge here with another pick onto Stefano to lead on this round. Now in a 5v4 situation, taking a look at the health bars all across the board. Kazam barely hanging on, is going to get picked off. Now Tyler's and Formal drop like flies, one after another. It's just going to be Abyss against the world here on this point. I don't know how he's going to manage himself here in this 1v3 situation. We can already see Freak is about half HP, but Abyss, not much more health to his name either. He's going to deal with Freak, Red, and DLA without dropping. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off. We've seen Shenandoah. I don't think this is even in the cards for St. Clair. It's kind of at this point, you know, try to get as many kills as you can, try to get a little bit more money in that pocket before this round goes down. But you kind of have to accept that this is a really, really awkward situation to be in.
Yeah, and I don't know if you expect somebody to bounce through the floor. This isn't Rainbow Six Siege. Nobody's going to grenade you through the floor, so you better get ready for this B site. He took such a long time, which granted at the same time, you have to be cautious. You don't know where the opponents are. As soon as he plants the bomb, it's going to be Freak right there with yet another one. And it's just going... This one is hitting the fan pretty quick here for the Saints, as it's not even quite halftime, but Shenandoah has already hit themselves to double digits. And definitely kind of expected from the team that is leading their NACE division, but it's definitely going to be a little bit heartbreaking here for the Saints side of things, as it's a bit of a slow start, to say the least.
For sure, but this is one of those games, you know, we talk about it all the time on League Cast, on Overwatch Cast. When you play against teams that are just so good like this, just go into it with the intention of absorbing as much as you can. Learn everything. Learn their angles. Learn their approaches. Learn the gunfights that they take and the gunfights that they don't. And speaking of gunfights, already for Shenandoah, that's 2 kills, 3 kills now. an instant wipe, the clean ace for Shenandoah, just to really solidify this series. Really wants to push it, see if they can even round it out before we actually get to hit halftime. 11-3 now, already in this game.
Oh, the Saints are absorbing, all right. Absorbing every single bullet fired out of the Shenandoah University squad because they are just getting absolutely mowed over here on the attacking side of things. Granted, as soon as we do switch after this round to the defensive side of things, Saints could find themselves in a bit of a more comfortable position, but less room for error. As we do see Saints, they're just going to try and rush it through apartments with some assault rifles. Get themselves one, maybe two, but now it's going to be all up to Stefano. The sub going to try and make it happen, but I don't care how good you are. You're up against the wall with two members looking at you from different angles. You're going to go down in that situation. So at the half, oh dear God, Freak has 24 kills.
That last round looked a little tilted to me. I mean, you know, it's that halftime rush. You're so far behind. You just want to do something to pull yourself back into this game. But right off the start of the bat, I think it was Red on the solo flank, picking up 3 kills, 1 versus 5. It's like he took down 2 people, and the Saints still hadn't noticed what was happening or where he was. Definitely kind of in a rough spot mentally and emotionally. But coming into halftime, you know, if there's ever a hope of getting this game back, you've got to take a mental reset. You've got to be able to refresh and come into this with a clear head. You can't be making tilted rushes like that. Start off a round.
Okay, Stefano is going to end up going down. Actually, never mind. He actually finds himself a double, then finally goes down. This pistol round, now that the Saints are on the defensive side of things, looking better. However, the bomb is planted. It's going to be Maz goes down. Freak, even with the pistol, is deadly. Looking to try and help his partner DLA, who is rather wounded. He does find the head of Tyler's. It's going to be up to Abyss, who's been on a bit of a cold streak today. He's going to find one. Can he find the other? That is a weak DLA. He definitely has the advantage. He is going to find him, and he is going to be able to defuse this. Saints starting off the defensive side of things strong, getting themselves a defuse and getting themselves around.
That was really good kind of martyrdom kills there out of Stefano to make sure that he picked up a couple on his way out. Getting those 2 kills is a really good way to get the rest of his team set up for that round. You know, he knows he's going to die. He knows he's on low HP. He knows it's pistol. He's not going to be able to outrange or outflank or out artillery. So he just tries to get as much DPS in as he can before he goes down. Really good kind of knowledge of that situation, trying to make the most out of the circumstance that he was in.
Now, Saints have to be careful, however. Shenandoah is doing the exact same thing that they did last time. They lost the pistol round, and then normally most teams would save up, look to take maybe the next round. You already see lots of zeros in the pockets of the side of the Shenandoah Hornets as they've bought some weaker assault rifles. They have the weaker sniper rifle, and they want to actually go out fragging. They don't care that they're down. They're just going to swarm you, and that's a solid start here. 1-for-1 trade. Some solid value coming out here from the side of Shenandoah, and even Verdi has the FAMAS now that Maz was using. Stealing it, gets the bomb down. The 4-on-4, and to be honest, it's actually pretty well equal firepower considering Shenandoah forced, and they are going to find 2. Saints find 2. 2-on-2, the finishing's off. Tyler's has really hurt. Stefano pretty weak as well. Red versus Tyler's, but Tyler's is so low. Can he find an opportunity? He's not going to be able to. Red going to finish him off.
I have to say, the Shenandoah team, one thing they've been doing very well since the start of this offensive switch at halftime is that even when they're getting picked off at the beginning of the round, they always manage to find that plant. And the beautiful thing about finding that plant is that all of a sudden, you've changed the dynamic. You've changed the narrative. Now, all of a sudden, the other guys have to start coming to you. And it's just a really good way of being able to put yourself in an offensive advantage because you can then get the setup to find the angles that you want to respond. Already the nice draw, but Tyler's with the return kill onto CDM before they can find the finish. Now 2 for 2 in this round. It's going to be a 3v3 to round it out. But Kazam getting just absolutely stomped by Verdi. Now Red with the pick onto Formal. It's going to be, again, Stefano versus the world. I feel like this is always this guy trying to hang on for the rest of his team. He's always the last one to go down. And unfortunately for Stefano, he's not going to be able to find anything else to his round. Now Shenandoah with only 2 rounds left to win it all. A huge amount of tempo going into this nearly match point round.
Yeah, definitely rough there. Saints were kind of forced to end up making themselves have a save round. Everybody just taking pistols, and that was about it. And even after that, they were not able to get completely full in regards to firepower. So now they're going to be down once again. We see AKs for days on this side of Shenandoah. And Tyler's is going to at least go 1-for-1 here, takes care of Freak, which is definitely a huge player on the side of Shenandoah to take down. He's going to find another one. CDM walks into it, but then Tyler's going to walk through the door, and they were absolutely waiting for him. Mows him down. Going to be Formal. He does end up taking down Verdi D. So now can the partnership here between Stefano and Abyss fix this off? As Formal does go down, Stefano goes down. Red seems to be absolutely killing it here on this offensive side, and DLA actually finishes the job from a different angle. Match point Shenandoah.
Yeah, Red has really popped off in this last couple of rounds. We saw him have some really good performances towards the end of the first half, but now looking at his KD, 18 kills Red's way. That puts him in third, slightly behind DLA with 19 to his name, and of course, Freak in the lead with 27. Coming up on match point, that is a ridiculous score to come out of this game with. And for St. Clair, I mean, at this point, you just got to KDA farm as best you can. Really try to pad those stats up and see how much you can get out of this game before it's all over. At 15-4 now, right before match point, it is all or nothing for St. Clair.
Yep, they've spent everything they have. They have no more room for save rounds. It's all done, and Formal is going to be the first casualty in this fight. As sure enough, it is going to be Red. That was a solid molly coming out here from Abyss, but he is going to end up getting taken down. And now it looks like the T side here, Shenandoah all storming the point. Can Saints somehow turn this one around? They're going to damn well try. Moss going to try and get something started. Only finds one. And now, Tyler's and Stefano. Once again, Stefano, one of the last ones alive. Tyler's does find Verdi D. 2-on-2. This is winnable. Stefano finds one. Where is CDM in all this? He's on the flank. He's going to wait. He sees the guy going through. He sprays, but he doesn't quite catch the person who's going for the defuse. Tyler might be able to pull this off. Sprays on through. He does get the kill. Stefano, he has to try and hunt him down, but at the same time, CDM is just blowing so much time. He's going to try and go for the knife, but I think he wasted enough time. I don't think he can defuse this, and sure enough, he's not going to get there in time. Shenandoah, 16-4, dominating victory.
That was a little BM there. I'm not going to lie. You know that the bomb's about to detonate. It's match point. You've already rolled this team and going in for the knife kill. Just a little bit of a flex, honestly, from this team. But to be fair, they deserve the opportunity to go for plays like that. They performed so well this game. Every round was clean. And even when they were losing, it was never a wipe. It was always like right down to the final kill. Just an incredible performance from Shenandoah.
Yeah, they definitely showed exactly why they're the top team in their division right here, right now, with a very, very strong performance over St. Clair. And then some would say, okay, was it like the team dynamic already messed up right off the back from the internet going down there from Bobby? I think even if everything was all like firing on all cylinders, I feel like it would probably be a very similar score line with the way just Shenandoah was able to just outgun, outmaneuver, and how long it took early for Saints to find a way to deal with Freak with the op in the little mid corridor. It took them, it felt like 7 rounds to actually get something done. He was getting like first kills or first 2 kills even in a round so many times. And it really threw things off. And then Red on the attacking side of things was definitely very notable. But of course, big shout out to everybody on the side of Shenandoah. Like I said earlier, just definitely showing us why they're the top group. Keep on going. Let's see how far you can go. And sometime later on this season, they would definitely love to see a rematch between the two teams.
It's really exciting to see a team like Shenandoah who's just so confident in their skills that they can go for kind of a skill check buy round on round 2. Like even if losing that pistol round, taking all those SMGs and just saying, hey, you know, we know you have the tempo. Let's see what you can do with it. And unfortunately for St. Clair, we failed the skill check both times on both halves. And that really, I guess, it's not just a tempo lead for economy in that game, but it's also for kind of a mental, emotional tempo going into later rounds. You know, you had this lead on round 1, and all of a sudden you're on the back foot, and it's like, how did this happen? And it's already kind of shaking you up and affecting your performance. So, in my opinion, really, a lot of what happened for St. Clair today looked to be mental game. It's just how do we keep ourselves composed despite the unfortunate circumstances, despite the fact that the people we're playing against are just really damn good.
And then, like, yeah, to go touch on the skill check, as you called it there, because, yeah, that is so high risk, high reward, because, like, you take the win, okay, you've completely flipped this game on its head. But if you lose that, you're probably taking 2 rounds in regards to recovery for your economy, doing, like, 2 2 safe rounds, 2 pistol rounds of sorts to try and get yourself back into the game. So what could have been like, okay, maybe you go down 2-0 and then try to make your way back. It could have been like something like 3 or 4. But the fact that they were able to just force buy and still get the victory, even though they may have been a little bit low on firepower, was absolutely huge. And then it's, of course, a very overconfident move, but Shenandoah showing us exactly why they can get away with that. Solid job to them. Of course, technically, this game may have gone a little bit quicker than expected, but that doesn't mean that the action has to stop here on the Saints Gaming CA channel, or at least we can switch on over to Saints Gaming CA 2 as a part of our squad stream, of course. CCL Call of Duty is happening at the same time, and our team actually right now is up against SIUE, which I believe is a top 25 CCL school, so it's definitely going to be a tough one. Looking forward to seeing. We have Nathan and Zarin both giving you the action there tonight. So we'll definitely host them again as we move on forward here. But as for the Counter-Strike match that we did have here tonight, of course, GG's nonetheless, but definitely one you go back to the replay to say the least. And then actually, Zeddy, since, of course, coach's perspective here. So you take a beating like that, where do you start? Like, obviously, the FPS compared to MOBA a little bit different, obviously, but like any sort of insight as to like where do you start after a loss like that?
The most important thing to do when you get beat that bad is, instead of just looking at the game and being like, this is wrong, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, you want to pick one or maybe like 2 things and just really focus on those points and use those things as learning objectives so that you can set yourselves realistic goals going into the next game. You don't ever want to demoralize your team and make them feel like, you know, they just played horribly all around, because especially that's usually not the case. In fact, usually you're really messing up on 1 or 2 things that's affecting everything else, right? And I think we can kind of see already, especially looking at a team as good as Shenandoah, you can already see some really clear differences. Shenandoah's gunplay was just straight up better. They were just winning out on gunfights. They were winning out on 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s, right? Even 1v2s, if we remember, it was early on in the first half. They picked up a couple, fights when they were down a numbers advantage. So working on your gunplay, maybe taking some time to focus on aim, or talking about certain situations or certain fights from certain angles and how you would approach them. In general, it seemed like St. Clair, maybe due to the sub, maybe due to the internet, whatever the circumstance was, but there was a communication disparity in that first round. I remember, I think it was on round 7 or whatever, St. Clair, we bought 2 SMGs and the rest of the team was still stuck on pistols, and we ended up losing that round pretty hard as well, basically just tanking our economy. So in that situation, that's something you'll want to review as a team and say, how do we make sure that we're constantly communicating what our resources are and how we want to approach the fight? Are we going to take a buy round? Are we going to take a die round? Like, how are we going to go forward into this match? So finding those topics and just focusing in on them, rather than just looking at a game and saying it was bad, is what specific thing can I learn from this and how can I apply that to my next game?
Definitely some good insight there. It definitely makes sense and whatnot. So hopefully, as we see the Counter-Strike team later on, probably this Sunday coming up, if everything does stick to the same plan, we'll see them come fighting back and fighting fit. But speaking of the schedules or matches coming up, I do want to quickly throw it on over to our schedule for some matches that we do have coming up here in the next coming days. Of course, Call of Duty happening on the other channel, on our Saints Gaming CA 2 channel right here, right now. We'll host that momentarily. But then tomorrow, join us here at 8 o'clock as we have a gauntlet of Fortnite matches here for the play versus season, or the preseason opener of sorts, just to make sure everything's working out. But we want to see where these Saints stand. And the way that Play Versus is running this is rather interesting, of course. A mixture of finishing position plus eliminations. And you get 10 games a night. So we have plenty of Fortnite happening tomorrow night. Then on Thursday, 6 o'clock, we get to see some NECC Overwatch. First time we've gotten to see the Overwatch team. It feels like forever. So looking forward to seeing that matchup. We do have some Rainbow Six Siege, Collegiate R6, Friday, late one at 9 o'clock. Then Saturday, because the R6 Face It League has completed its regular season, our Saturdays has now trimmed down to just one match. It is just going to be some CLOL action at 3 o'clock, nice and relatively early in the afternoon compared to some of the broadcasts here. And then Sunday, we get to see our CSGO team fight back in the Face It CSGO Contenders League. So, of course, make sure you follow our Saints Gaming CA Twitch channel here and our Twitter to make sure you know exactly who we're playing, when we're going live and any of the news that does coincide with it. So, I think I've already asked if any final thoughts in regards to the matchup.
I mean, it was a lot to take in for sure. And, coming from St. Clair's perspective, it's a good opportunity to just look at that game and really just learn everything you can from that team. There were a lot of things they were doing really well, a lot of things that you can absorb, and start applying to your games right away. And, I really have hope for this team, for these guys as they move farther and farther into the season. Finding those things that they're struggling with and just start making those corrections now. You got a lot of time going into playoffs to make those fixes. You just got to start now and get right on that. So best of luck to the guys on their performance for today and moving forward with the rest of the NACE season.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now, last thing before, of course, we do close out for tonight. Big thank you to the sponsors that make this all possible. Of course, that being St. Clair College, Tim Hortons, PC Outlet, Zuckelman School of Business and Information Technology, St. Clair College Alumni Association, and the St. Clair SRC for, of course, making the St. Clair Saints varsity esports team possible to let us have these fantastic teams and these broadcasts to give to all of you day in, day out. And of course, big thank you to everybody for tuning in to the matchup. Unfortunately, not a hometown win tonight, but that's A-okay. Can't win them all. Still, thank you for supporting your friends, family members, classmates, or just the teams themselves as we move forward here in each of our esports teams leagues as we move forward, of course. Now, I'm going to be closing things out. Of course, Call of Duty happening on the other stream. We'll get it hosted momentarily. Or if that's it for you tonight, I will see you tomorrow for Fortnite.